BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Okay, we actually got a lot to talk about. I want to be clear on this. Last night we were talking about the court case that we're currently doing. So I just want y'all to be clear. I just want y'all to have a total understanding of this. I know that our morning coffee is a bigger show for this channel than the Tonight Show is. So I know that sometimes when we talk about these big topics at night, that I do have to follow up and have these discussions in the morning. So that's what we're doing because there isn't anything much bigger going on right now that I really care to discuss. But just so we can be clear, we're going to be discussing the TaxStone jury selection. So we're going to be discussing the case with TaxStone. We're also going to be discussing, I want to go over this Charleston white guy. I think people need to understand that these individuals out here that calls themselves trolls or whatever they call themselves, they put out so much more misinformation than they actually put out information that is real. So I do want to go over that slightly, if y'all don't mind. And there's something else I wanted to talk about. I thought I put it in the title. I might not have put it in the title. I might have forgotten to put it in the title. But we do also have a situation going on in America where we're having these trains and everything flying off of the hinges and off of the woodworks. I'm going to immediately put the invite up if anybody would like to come up here and talk. Obviously, I need to be able to see your face first so I can make sure I know who you are. So we're not having people come up here trying to waste our time. Also, I want to say I need for y'all to be patient with me. Because when y'all in the comment section and y'all asking questions, we had a couple of people last night asking some questions. And I get it that sometimes you're asking questions and I don't understand the clarity of the question. So please, I need for you to be clear. I need for you to not just ask a question. I need for there to be context to the question. If you're asking me a question with no context, it looks like you're trolling. When you're asking me a question and it just looks or sounds like it's coming out of clear air, like it's coming from nowhere, how do you expect for me to respond to said question? You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to be clear on this. One of the things I am going to need, if you want to ask a question, I have no problem with that. But you have to have some clarity to the question because too often on all platforms, on all channels, you have people that come through and they're just trying to muddy the waters. And if it looks like you're trying to muddy the waters and I'm asking you for clarity and you're refusing to give me clarity, then yes, I'm going to think you're just here to be a distraction. And if you're only here to be a distraction, I'm going to call it what it is because Satan is the author of confusion. So when I say that, I'm not calling you Satan. What I'm saying is you're acting as one of his emissaries. You're acting as a person who's conducting themselves on Satan's behalf. Now, sometimes do people do that and not know that they're doing that? Absolutely. Because Satan will send somebody with bad intentions to come to you and have you go do a thing. So you don't even know what you're doing is the wrong thing to be doing. You don't even understand the ramifications of your actions. You just think you're asking a pretty simple, easy question. But in reality, what you're doing is you're muddying the water. You're causing confusion. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with that. You should not want to deal with that either. Another thing, I just want to be clear on this. And I want to say this dead in the beginning of the video. This has to do with the Most High. For the people who are always upset that I talk about God so much, it is what it is. I want to be clear on something. We're always supposed to try and be godly. What I mean by that is we're supposed to try to emulate the Most High. And what I mean by that is that we're supposed to try to carry ourselves as best as possible in order to be godly. So when you see somebody and they're saying, this is just something, when you see somebody and they say, oh, he think he's better than everybody else, there's a difference between, I'm just about to say shout out to everybody in the chat. Give me 1 minute. There's a difference between somebody saying I'm better than you and you saying, well, that person's holding themselves to a higher standard than I hold myself. And that's usually what people actually mean when they're saying that they're not holding themselves to a high status, to a higher claim, and they're upset that you are. So often when people say that person think that they're better than me, They know that the person don't think that they're better than them. They just also understand that they don't hold themselves to such high principles. And they want that person to stop holding themselves to high principles because it exposes them. Now, with that being said, let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat real quick. Shout out to Darkwing. We got Darkwing up in here. He says, good day. What's good, Froze? Chilling, my brother. Friday, all of the things. What up, Ty B? Says, salute, BBN. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's any day. We thank God for every day. Friday also. Salute. Shout out to Young Earl. He says, salute. Shout out to Nick the Slick. He's dropping the frost. And then he's also come from New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans. Shout out to Rue. Don't nobody see them dots. Jones. Hope everything's going well with you and yours. I hope to see you up here today in the chat. And shout out, oh shoot, we got King of New Jersey up in here. We got Mr. Eastwick. My brother, if you want to come up here and have this conversation with us, they go to the link right there. You can pull up anytime you feel like it. Now, with that being said, I want to start off because the TaxStone conversation is going to obviously be longer. So give me a minute. I'm going to get to that. I want to start off with this Charleston White thing because I want to be clear on this. I want to be clear on this. Does Charleston White say things where he's making a great point? Absolutely. Charleston White consistently say things where he's actually making a great point. I do not want there to be a misunderstanding. He does do this, but I'm going to tell you what he actually does. He creates confusion. Shout out to the Art of D Glasses. Thank God it's Friday. Good morning, everybody. BBN fam, salute. He creates confusion. The Most High, he's not trying to create confusion amongst us. Copy? That's Satan's job. Satan is the author of confusion. So one of the things that Satan uses to his advantage is he'll tell you something that's true just so he could lure you in. And then when he lures you in and he got you listening, paying attention, and falling in line, then he's going to give you all of the BS that you should have never heard in the first place. That's what Charleston White does. It's a shame that our internet runs the way that it does. It's a shame. Like, I'm going to give you a good example. And I'm not trying to shoot at women, but I just want to make it a point of this. I heard one of the dudes that talk in these forums where they're having a conversation with women and, you know, how men and women relations are. They're upset that guys are going overseas to find women. They're upset at this shit. Now, first thing I want to say is this. A lot of people that's going overseas to find these women, they're not going overseas to all of these countries that y'all think are just poor people living there. If you know what Dubai is a third world country, for everybody that don't know. Look it up. So they're going to places not where these women are poor, eating dirt, and they're being slaves. They're going places into countries where when the mothers are raising these daughters, they're raising these daughters to cook, clean, obey the husband. Things like that. They're going to countries where, and this is almost every other country with the exception of America. So that just showed you how weird it is. They're going to countries that these women are learning how to be wives. In America, being a wife is a bad thing for some strange reason. Every woman want to be married, but very few want to be an actual wife. But they want you to be a husband. So this guy is having this conversation with this woman. And I really wanted to say this. I wanted to bring this up last night, but I did. And basically, the guy was basically saying that men are going to other countries and getting these women because they don't want to fight all day with their wives. And this woman had the nerve to say, isn't that boring? So I just want to say this. For any lady listening to this, I know the women hate this page, but for any lady listening to this, I'm about to tell you the realest shit you ever gonna hear. Men don't want you to make our lives more difficult. There's no man that's somewhere living somewhere with his woman and they have an amicable relationship. They have a good relationship that they're both happy and they're saying this is boring. No man is doing that. You see, there's a difference. There's a difference, just so we could be clear. Shout out to Nick the Slick with the $5 drop. He says, Nolan's to New York. Respect to you, my brother. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Who's next? Pulling our blessings down from the heaven. There's a difference between being in a relationship where you and your partner don't have any chemistry, than you being in a relationship where everything is going good and there's no reason for turmoil. So I want to say this, and I'm not saying this and I'm not shooting at women. I want you to understand this. If you're in a relationship with a man and your thing is you want to spice up the relationship by creating arguments and whatnot, no man wants that. Now, there's some men who ain't really men because they would love to change their genders. And y'all love marrying these guys. They might want that. But no real man is going to want to go work at how many ever hours at whatever job that he got, come home and want to fight with his wife. I promise you, that's not a thing. I just wanted to mention that today. Because I saw this somewhere, and the lady was really arguing with him that if she don't fight with her man, then the marriage is going to be boring. What in the hell? If there's any men in here that like fighting with their wife for no reason, raise your hand. I just want to know who you are. With that being said, let's get to the actual TaxStone conversation. TaxStone. Also, could I say this? There's probably more divorces in America than in any other country. And also, so we could be clear, guess which women leave their marriages the most? Guess which women leave their marriages the most? I'm not being a jerk. I'm just asking. Guess which women has the highest level of divorce? Everybody say what's up to our brother over here. Salute.
Peace, salute, my brother, salute. How you?
Oh, regular. You already know what it is. What you want to tell
Grand Rising, son. Oh man, remember we was talking about this tax stone? I mean, this Troy Ave. We was on Matt Fox the other time.
me? Mm-hmm.
And remember I said that it's gonna make Matt Fox look even worse once everything start coming out.
Yes, sir.
All right, now check this out. Now even Sub-Zero's going at Matt Fox for heavy.
Mm.
You didn't see that, did you?
No, I did not put us on.
Yo, Sub-Zero is on Matt Fox's neck now. And but you know, I told you Troy was going to testify, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Troy Ave said he was going to testify in all fairness. Keep going. We
He
listening.
said it. He said it in a song. Everybody thought he was joking.
Okay,
I knew the nigga wasn't joking. I told you the dude wasn't joking. I said this guy's gonna tell because he looked like the type of dude that's tell. But you know what? In all fairness, I'm gonna say something. I want to say it. I'm gonna be honest. If what happened, if Vanga punched TaxStone in the face and dropped him, and he got up and shot the nigga, it's only charge he'll be charged with is the gun charge because that's self-defense. They was trying to jump him.
so I'm gonna agree with you that that's most likely the way that his attorneys is gonna go about that. That makes the most sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you. You know, I'm not the most agreeable guy.
I know you're not, bro, but it's all good. We still cool, nigga. We still cool.
So I'm gonna agree with you on that 100%. But what I'm gonna say that we have to pay attention to is, remember, Homeboy Tax was throwing a lot of threats over the internet. Now, was Troy Ave throwing the same amount of threats? If Troy Ave was throwing, if it could be proven that Troy Ave was throwing the same amount of threats, then he might have a case. Hold on, I'm gonna say another way that he might have a case. They might have a case. Look, I'm trying my best I'm trying my best.
I know. I'm listening to you,
They
bro. Go
might have
ahead.
a case also, if not only they can prove that Troy Ave overtly on the internet was throwing threats, but if they can prove that behind the scenes Troy Ave was doing things to throw threats, then that might be able to help their case. But there's
Yeah.
still one thing that's gonna hurt TaxStone. You got to know what it is.
Done.
He wasn't supposed to be there. You see, if
Oh,
Troy Ave, hold on, Troy Ave is on the bill. Now, if you're telling me, I'm just saying, argument's sake,
yeah.
and I'm not saying that Troy Ave wasn't threatening him, I'm conceding that to you. I'm
Yeah.
saying, let's say Troy Ave was threatening him, overtly, online, and behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What's going to hurt him, I'm not saying that this is something that's going to make it so that he's going to lose the case. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying something that can hurt. Is that if you know that this man is threatening you, and then you show up to an event that he's at, I don't know how the jury will take that.
But then you got to think about this too. Who's to say who can't go to a party in the city?
You're right.
That was a big event.
You're right.
He's at the time, TaxStone was pretty much a celebrity. He's pretty much bigger than Troy Ave.
No, he was bigger than Troy Ave. Let's not play games. Keep going.
He was bigger. Yeah, he was bigger. I said pretty much. He was bigger than Troy Ave. I'm gonna say that.
My dude, if TaxStone was free right now, if this never happens, TaxStone is a millionaire with his own podcast doing big things. Let's not play with it.
Yo, he big like he'd be like on Vlad level.
Boom. Let's not play with it. First of all the street niggas, hold on. Let's just give him some of his flowers right now before we even go any further.
Yo, but like he's the reason I started YouTube in 2016. Boom, TaxStone is TaxStone and Star. Them the two people that had me start my channel, man. Real talk.
Okay. No. So I'm not. I didn't know much about. I found out about TaxStone before the situation happened with the in just so we could before the Urban Plaza situation.
Yeah.
I know about TaxStone for about a year, maybe a year and a half. So I knew about what he was doing, and I appreciated what he was doing, and I thought he was actually one of the better podcasters and better commentators on social media. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. I thought he was really good at his job.
He was.
This is what I think happened. I think that sometimes we got to forget what the people in the comment section is saying. I think we can't allow, like, even if we already have a situation or a beef with somebody or we're angry at an individual, we can't allow for our comment section to make us feel like there's a need for us to act on whatever those emotions are. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think that a lot of times, and this happens to actual celebrities too, because you'll hear people like well, he's a celebrity also. You'll hear people like Cardi B talk about this. You'll hear other people say, we're not even beefing. It's the people in the chat that's beefing. I'm not beefing with that person. So sometimes that's how we got to accept that. You have to allow for the people in your chat that don't like whoever they don't like to be angry at whoever they're going to be angry at, but you can't get involved in that. And I think that when he started talking crazy, or not crazy, when him and Troy Ave started having whatever their mix was, whatever that was, I'm not going to get into who started it because I don't even know. So whenever him and Troy Ave started getting into whatever their mix was, I think that when you can't say to your community, that's not the energy that I'm on, and you can't just say, you know what, we're going to move off of that, I think sometimes that hurts you, and I think that hurt him in this particular case. Could we at least say that?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not here trying to hope anybody is found guilty of anything, but I am going to say this. Somebody lost their life.
True. But like I said, we don't even know who shot Banger. It could have been TaxStone. It could have been Troy Ave. We don't know who really did it.
It could have just went off while they were struggling.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the angle that I can't say this. Okay, so when I go into court, I can't tell you the way yet. Hopefully, after the trial actually start, I'll be able to feel more comfortable telling you or speaking about the direction that I believe that the lawyers are going to go in. I don't think it'd be responsible of me right now to say I believe that the lawyers are going to say this. I believe that I don't think that'd be responsible. You understand?
Yeah, true.
So after the trial actually start, and I could actually hear the opening statements,
Uh-huh.
then I'll be able to say, give my opinion on it. I had somebody come up in the chat last night, and it was like, "What do you think that they're gonna argue?" I can't really say that right now. I need to wait at least for the opening statements. After they give us the opening statements, I give it up. I
Yeah.
promise. You understand what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? But I gotta wait for the opening statement. So
Yeah,
I'm
true.
saying, so what I'm saying is, and my fault if I'm over talking you, but what I'm saying
You all right? Good.
is that and this is not a knock on uh TaxStone. I hope to hopefully get the opportunity to speak with somebody on his side so I could get a better understanding
Yeah.
about, just what's going on with the brother. I even speak with him, but he's at his trial, and I'm pretty sure he'll talk to heads bigger than mine. But remember who's showing up to your trial for you. You feel me? Don't forget
Uh-huh.
that part. So I would love to be able to speak to always both sides, because I always want to talk to both sides. I have no dog in this fight. I don't want
Yeah,
anybody
true.
to go to jail. I don't want anybody to be free. I just want whatever God's will to be done. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
So I will say this: the argument can be made, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna say that he was hit first, and then when he tried to protect himself, never say defend. I'm giving y'all this is a legal thing for everybody that don't know. Whenever you are in a situation where somebody assaults you first and you feel like you are trying to preserve your life, never ever say defend, because defend could be something, a first attack. So you never
Yeah.
want to say defend, you want to say protect. So if he
Yeah.
was trying to protect his life and then the gun went off, the argument could be made that he reached for the gun and didn't get an opportunity to get it out. Somebody else got the gun out, the gun went off. Boom. I could understand that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I don't know where this will go. I don't know if he's going to be found guilty. I don't know if he's going to be found innocent. He's already in trouble for the gun. He had to cop to that, and there's no
He
getting.
did time. The time is done for that. That's why they started trial now.
Yeah, there's just no getting around that. You speak, please.
He did his upon himself. He did his time for the gun already, I believe. Federal
Yeah.
time. So right now, they probably released him to the state already. That's how he's doing the state trial. Because he only
Okay.
got how many? He been locked up for 6 years now, almost, right?
Hold on 1 second. We got somebody else in here. We got a shallow how. My brother, please be good. Please don't come up here with the BS. Come up here. We having a good show. Let's go. I'm bringing you up. How you doing, my brother?
Yo, what's good, bro? You can hear me well?
I can hear you.
Please.
If you don't want to show your face, you could put the icon up.
All right, let me is that good?
Yeah, however you want to rock.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, listen, right? Peace, Jack. Um, I know who the other witness is.
Who's the other witness?
All right, so you remember Swaggy Jazzy, right? Casanova girlfriend.
Yes,
You
sir.
remember when her best friend Star, when she got caught snitching?
You got some kind of feedback when you speak, so speak up a
All right,
little.
hold on.
Got you.
Yeah?
Yeah, keep going.
All right, so Swaggy Jazzy best friend Star, she was caught snitching a while back. The
Star
videos are
Brim.
all online and everything.
Star Brim, keep
Not
going.
Star. No, not Star Brim. Swaggy Jazzy best friend Star. Remember, she was on camera. They had an interrogation room, and she was
Oh,
giving
the
it
light
up.
skinned girl. Keep
The
going.
light skinned girl.
Okay.
Right? All right. So, what she got arrested for was she got caught up in like a drug indictment with her boyfriend, this dude named M.A. Right? So the
Okay,
dude
keep
in
going.
May,
They were also
the
doing some
dude,
kind of fraud shit. Keep going.
yeah, they was doing fraud and they was moving drugs across the country, right? The dude in May is real good friends with Tax. Was real good friends with Tax, right?
Copy.
So remember, the gun came from out of state, right?
Yes, sir.
So from what I understand and what the streets are saying is that he's out of jail right now, and he got caught with work. He got caught with work. So what the streets are saying is that he's supposed to be the witness against Tax via gun trafficking.
Mm.
I'm
But
out of
Tax
here.
already copped to the gun, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
But
he already did his time.
it's not just for having the gun. It's for gun trafficking. You
He already
understand?
got the
Because they
federal
trying
time
to
for that.
Oh, wait, hold on. I
he did
think
the
I hear what
time.
he's trying to say. Hold
He
on.
got
Hold
he
on a
got the
second.
time for having
Kyle,
the gun.
give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that we on the same page. Give me 1 second. What you're saying is that that wasn't the only weapons that he brought into New York City, the weapon that he used. He's actually trafficking.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Oh, I got you.
So this is what the streets is saying. So apparently, in May, he was out of jail after getting caught with wild work. Wild work. He got hit with kingpin charges. You can look it up. I
Boom.
can't find it right now, but you can look it up. It's all out
What's
there.
his
All the
name?
paperwork is out there. They call him MA. I don't remember his actual government name, but if you look up, her name was like Star Power. That was Swaggy Jazzy's best friend. You'll be able to find it. You can just put Swaggy Jazzy's best friend snitching, and the videos come up. They got her in the interrogation room, giving it up on tape. They put the videos out. So that dude is out. Nobody knows how he's out. And from what we understand is that he's supposed to be the other witness that's giving it up on TaxStone as far as saying that he was trafficking guns. Because TaxStone he's a gorilla. He rolled with Casanova. That's why he got the stone in his name.
Copy.
You understand? So he's part of the Gorilla Stone Nation. So what they're trying to say is that he was trafficking guns, and this dude in May is allegedly supposed to be the corroborated witness to give it up that he was involved in gun trafficking as well.
Okay, so
That's what the streets are saying, and it makes perfect sense because it don't make no sense how he's out. It don't make no sense.
Okay, so
Wow.
there's 2 corroborating witnesses. That's what was said at court, just so we can be clear. There's 2 corroborating witnesses. So I can't say what you're saying is true or not, but it definitely does align with some of the information in which I have. It sounds like a real big possibility.
And listen, look, Jack, you know me. I had to switch my name because I use my actual government name on everything because I don't run for nothing. But this is like some real heavy street shit. Remember, I DM'd you before about the shooting that happened with Rowdy Rebel at the barbecue in Long Island, at the pool party. And
Oh shit! And you was on point with that. Not for nothing.
I told you who did it, and I told you who was gonna eat the charge. Remember?
That's a fact.
I told you. I know who did it because I was there. I seen it. I was there. So I know who did it. And I told you who was gonna eat the charge. And everything I said played out. So you know I'm in tune. I ain't just chatting up here. So, like, from what I understand, that's what's happening as far as the dude in May. It's supposed to be the one that's giving it up on tax. You know what I mean? That's the only way he could have got out. Casanova's he don't really got nothing to do with it. But the other witness is Troy Ave.
Well, hold on. So what is he testifying to is the question. Being asked, since TaxStone has already admitted to the gun, and this trial isn't about trafficking. So was he there when the situation happened? And is he testifying to what he saw?
Well, from what I understand is he wasn't there. I don't know the legalese about it. You know what I mean? I don't really know how all of that stuff works. But from what I understand is that he's supposed to be basically corroborating the fact that that was his gun. We know that was his gun, but because he ate the charge. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, Tax could get out right now if he was to beat the murder rap. You know what I mean? And I love Tax. I want Tax to come home personally. I don't really care for Troy, but he's supposed to be. I don't know. He has something to do with it. Everybody's saying he got something to do with it. Nobody know how he's home. He's been home for a little while now. Nobody's really quite understanding how he's home, and the only way it's making sense is through this case with Tax, because he was in tune with them. It was all locked in. You know what I mean? Like I said, that was Star, that was her boyfriend, that was her man. Star's best friends with Jazzy. Jazzy's man is Casanova. You understand? They all tied in together. They was all tied in together.
Also, might I add, we already know Homegirl snitching because she was snitching on camera. So it's not hard to believe her man might be trying to come up information for something. That's not a hard thing that's not a big leap. Like that's kind of like a hop and a skip. Like that's something that we can see being plausible.
and the bad thing that happened with her is he told her to give it up on him because he didn't want her to get locked up for doing what he was doing. He told her like, "Yo, just go ahead. If we ever get knocked, and I know this stuff personally. He told him, "Yo, we ever get knocked, if anything ever come down, there's no reason for you to go to jail. You got a kid. Just give it up on me. You know what I mean? I'm the one who's doing it anyway. What difference does it make if you get locked? You're not snitching on nobody else. You're snitching on me. Because even if you watch the video, she doesn't really snitch on anybody other than him. They ask her about Cass, like, yo, do you know people who does fraud? She's like, yeah. And they kind of ask her. She doesn't say that he does or that, she doesn't give it up on them. But he always told her, yo, you can eat the charge. Just give it up on me. There's no reason for you to get locked. You know what I mean? Like, if we all in the car and
That's
it's my
real
burner
nigga shit.
and we get pulled over.
That's what niggas supposed to. That's what niggas supposed to do anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want your girl to go to jail. She got your kids to take care of.
Yeah, so like, that was the story on that. So she always got a bad rap because she can never just come out and say, yeah, I did snitch, but he told me to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So she always got a bad rap behind it. But yo, and another thing, TaxStone instigated the situation. Troy instigated the situation.
All right,
yo, Troy does this thing where he tries to play like he's so, you know what I mean? Like, oh nah, niggas fuck with me. I just mind my business. Nah, he ain't like that, bro. He's not like that. You gotta understand. He came in there with Banger, so he was already feeling empowered because he got Banger. Banger's big as hell. Banger was huge. He come in there with Banger, and Banger got the street cred that Troy don't have. So he's in there with Banger. You understand? Tax is in there. Tax allegedly had the ratchet on him. He wasn't flash dancing. They got into whatever they got into. They had words, and then Banger reached over, slapped him, and then that's when shit went left. But it wasn't that Tax was antagonizing him. Now, Tax was fucking, giving him hell online. He was, because he hated him. He hated him.
So hold on. Let me ask you a couple of questions here. So what you're saying is, because what you're telling me is contrary to what I heard. I'm not saying that you're not telling the truth. Believe me, you have a lot of credibility with me. You put me onto a lot of stuff that actually have come to pass. So I'm not questioning you. You are one of the first people that I know for a fact know stuff that's going on that's telling me, and not taking away from our other guest over here, King New Jersey. That's the nigga too. Don't get this confused. But what you're telling me is that, and I think this might be something that you alluded to last time when we was talking. This is the main reason why I want him to stop. What you're telling me is, or slow down. What you're telling me is that TaxStone was not antagonizing the situation. That TaxStone was just in the room, and Troy Ave was antagonizing the situation.
Exactly. Awesome. Yeah. What up now, nigga? What up now? Yeah. Like, cause that's how he is, bro. I'm telling you, his online persona is, oh yeah, I'm just, duffel bag Troy, I'm low key, I'm on my. He ain't like that. Especially when he's with Banger, you know what I mean? He got muscle behind him. So when it was all in that green room, Urban Plaza, by the way, is still open. When it was all in that green room, and I've been in that green room, they did it over, but I was in that green room recently, and I know exactly how it happened. He was antagonizing Tax on some, yo, what's up now? Like, yeah, what's up now? All that shit you was talking online. And if you even think about it, think about how anybody would react to seeing somebody who was talking a bunch of shit about them online. You know what I mean? Because even if you're the person who was trolling, your energy isn't going to be as aggressive as the person that was getting trolled.
That's a fact.
Got a point.
You know what I'm saying? Your energy is always going to be like, oh, this the nigga that was talking all that shit. What's up? What's up? That's how Troy was. That's why you didn't see T.I., you didn't see Mano, you didn't see nobody come out in defense of Troy. Because everybody who was in that room knows that it was Troy. It was Troy who antagonized it and who raised the temperature with everything. You understand? Because at the end of the day, they could have got it shaken when the show was over. They could have got it shaken any time. They could have got it shaken in there. Nobody would have cared. Niggas would have moved out the way and let them bang it out. But Troy was on some high rah shit. Tax was on some, all right, yo, okay. Not only he was on some pussy shit, but on some, yo, this ain't the place type shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah. I get it.
we could rock it, but this ain't the place. Troy was going on. Troy was going on. You know what I mean? And then that's when they got kind of nose to nose, and Banger caught him from the side with the overhand, and then that's when shit escalated.
Okay, so I want to say something real quick. I just want to add something, just so we can be just in all fairness to all parties involved. So I'm gonna say we're gonna speak on this narrative. We're not gonna say anything. We're gonna speak on this narrative. This is what we're saying. Is this is what we're talking about? Just like when we talk about the other side and we only talk about that narrative, we're gonna talk about this narrative right now. So basically, and this is a believable thing because I never knew how tall TaxStone actually was. So now that I actually saw TaxStone in court and I see that him and Troy Ave is complementary heights and complementary builds, I could see where TaxStone might have thought him and Troy Ave could shoot the fade. You understand? I could see where it wouldn't have been a situation because I could see where he would have believed, like what you said, we could wait until after the jump off and do whatever we got to do, man to man. I could see that being a thing. And so this is the thing that I want to say. Seeing that both of those size guys is of complementary height and complementary builds, similarly built, similarly height. I don't now I'm kind of confused at why Banger hit him first. Is that
Yeah,
fair?
facts.
I mean, that's just security, bro. Like,
Yeah, but
like,
if you're saying dude was talking shit to him.
I mean, because you got, like I said, you got to understand. If Troy is if Troy is getting trolled, you know
My
what I'm
dude,
saying?
I know
By
about it.
by osmosis, Banger's getting trolled. That's his man. That if I'm out with my man, and you know what I mean, I'm in the cut and I see my man getting into something with somebody, and I know they already got smoked, and they talking it out, but it's aggressive, and I got the drop. I'm a snap him.
Nah, but security. I do security. I did bodyguard work for years.
Not
You don't
supposed to
do
move
that.
that way.
You supposed to move up. You supposed to de-escalate the situation. Get your client away from it. It
But
ain't
you
nothing.
did you do security for your homeboy though?
I just security for celebrities. Pimp C was my homeboy. I did security
I
for
mean
him.
see, to me the situation is a little different because that's his man. That was more
Yo,
than his
yo,
security
check this
guard.
out. I lived with
That was his
Shorty Low.
man.
Listen, I lived with Shorty Low for almost 3 years, bro. Out of Atlanta, bro. I'm from Jersey. I lived in Atlanta with Shorty Low for almost 3 years while I was doing his security, and that
So
was my man's. So
let me give you an example. So if y'all in a spot and
yeah,
Shorty Low and Ti when they had their issue
I was there
and
when that happened.
they talking nose to nose. You know what I mean? Like it's aggressive. They talking nose to nose. He's not, if Bengal was a professional security, bro, he was hood security.
Bro, I
He not
started
a
out, bro.
professional.
But listen, I started out her security. That's what I'm saying. I started out her security. I was her security while I was with Shorty Low. And when that shit happened with him and T.I., me and Alpha Mega had to squash that shit because it was getting deep. You dig what I'm saying? Me and Alpha Mega went to war over that shit. Because I was a street nigga just learning and he was a street nigga just learning. But I've been doing it for 20 years now, so I knew how to move more better now. I know how to move. I know what to do when it comes to situations like that. You're supposed to separate the situation and keep them niggas away from each other. That security supposed to do his job, and his security supposed to do his job. There's no way they should have interacted like that about the fight. There's no way for you to assault another artist, you know what I'm saying, for no reason, and he ain't throw a
Nah,
blow.
you 100% correct. 100% correct. But like I said in the same breath, you know what I mean? Like, I'm outside.
I
Like,
troll a lot of niggas. I want your nigga would come in my face talking about, oh, you trolling me. Man, I troll a lot of niggas.
I have to see.
I get
Listen,
them the business.
like like I'm outside, like really outside. Like I'm very connected. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
a lot of backstages. You know what I mean? I'm at all the festivals, rolling like whatever. I'm everywhere
yeah.
backstage with the artists, whatever. So, bro, I've seen niggas get slapped with security standing right there because niggas is talking. I've seen niggas get
That
slapped,
happens
bro.
like a mug. That happens.
They
Niggas
do.
get
I see that
slapped.
happen
It
too.
Niggas get
happens.
slapped. And this is with professional security standing there. You know what I mean?
But
Like
you,
niggas start chopping it out, getting crazy, and then the one dude who ain't really a rapper, slap, bow. And then everybody standing there looking shocked. Security don't know what to do. They don't know if you're supposed to let them fight. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you gotta remember, hip hop is all about your street cred. So
But yo,
if somebody
if you're
slapped you,
security, if somebody slapped my arms with me, if it's this other security, and I'm armed, even if I'm not armed, I'm throwing my hands, I'm dumping on that nigga. That's part of my job to protect my client, bro.
you're
Period.
100% correct. But what I'm trying to
So
tell you is I've seen situations where artists would get
I
slapped by
know.
another
All
artist.
right,
And
let me
then
ask you a
the
question.
dude,
Let me ask you a
but listen,
question.
the dude who gets slapped will turn to his security and wave him off on some like, nah. You know what I mean? And then they'll get a shaking. And it won't come out on TMZ. It won't be on no shade room.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
true.
Niggas would just get it shaken. And then, that's it. That's the end of it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, security work for you. The bodyguard is working for the artist. So, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If I want to sniff a bunch of coke and you don't think it's the right thing to do, and I wave you off, you got to do what I say. Basically, like, yo, nah, I'm good.
No, you
Like,
don't gotta
nah,
do what
I'm
they say,
good.
bro. You don't gotta do what they say, bro. Period. I don't do what my security. I don't do what my artists tell me to do. I do my job to protect my artists. He's not gonna tell me how to do my job. I know I get paid for doing this and doing that. That's how it's gonna stay, bro. Because I'm like this, yo, bro. That could get you caught up in some shit too. If you don't de-escalate this shit, I could get a charge for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You
Nah,
see what know what happened.
100%.
So, but like I said, I see artists get a shaking in the back of in the green rooms and shit like that. I seen that shit a million times. But what I'm saying is, who, like I said, I ain't gonna front. I like TaxStone. I respect Banger brother. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna do me and him. We built a few times. But I'm gonna tell you something. If he smack, we still have smacked that man from the side. That man whipped out and shot him. That's a natural reaction, bro.
But the thing is, do
We
we
don't even
know
know.
if it was tax who shot him or if it
No,
was
we don't know
himself?
what's tax. I said either way,
You know what I mean?
even if it wasn't tax or it wasn't tax. If that's the reason it happened, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy because you should have pulled your client away.
See, the thing is this, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I mean, how many people in the chat or how many people have actually been to Urban Plaza. What he did, what he did was fucking insane, bro. Because where he was shooting, it's a bar up there. It's an
Yeah,
upstairs bar up there. You know what I mean? So right
yeah.
there. So when he was shooting, bro, he was shooting into the bar area. You know
You
what I
talk
mean? Like
about you talk about Troy Ave, right?
Troy. Yeah, what he
Yeah.
did was insane. Hold on. Oh, 64. All right, guys. It's right over there. Yeah. Yeah, what he did was wild. What he did was
That's
wild.
about shit. Yeah.
What he did was insane, bro. Pulling up, like, just starting to dump like that. You know what I mean? With all those people who just, you know what I mean, having a good time. Whatever happens in the
Yeah.
green room is one thing. But when you run upstairs, because he had to go up the stairs. The green room,
Yeah.
like I said, in Urban Plaza, the green room is down by the stage to the side. But there's a set of stairs that goes up.
Yeah.
So he went up because it goes up to the next level where the bar is. So what he did was he went up the stairs, turned the corner, and started dumping down a hallway. But that hallway has a balcony where people
Yeah.
stand and look over at the show. You know what I mean? And then if you keep going straight, the whole back area is a bar and it wraps around. And then the same thing is on the other side. So what he did was crazy. He's running down a hallway where people are standing and he's shooting. He's shooting wildly. I don't personally, for my personal opinion, I don't think Troy's gonna. I don't think. I think Tax is gonna beat the case. I don't think the state of New York is gonna let anybody get away with being that reckless with other people's lives and shooting like that. And I think they're gonna charge him with the murder, even though Tax is the one that had the gun allegedly. You know what I mean? Tax is the one who Prince was on the clip allegedly. I still think that they're gonna hold Troy accountable because that's reckless disregard for human life. You know what I mean? Like y'all are not
Yeah.
like,
And
bro. It's
exactly.
a crowded area. Like I said, I don't know if you ever been there, bro. But where they were, it's the upstairs area is not cut off from everybody. If you in the spot, you could go upstairs, and he's just dumping, just shooting down the hallway. You can't do that, man.
Okay, could I just interject real quick? I want to say
Absolutely,
a couple of things.
it's
The
your show.
first thing is this. Y'all were just speaking about security. The reason why sometimes these guys slap security and then security don't do nothing is because that guy might be hired by that rapper that just got slapped.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on. So when you're security and you're not the homeboy security, you're the actual security of a security company, and two rappers are slapping each other, you might be working for that dude next week. You don't know who you're going to be hired to work for. So that's why also they might be trying to see if these dudes can shoot it out, right? Shoot the fire. That's one. Two,
Yeah.
you just made a point about how the other dude that is the guy that might be testifying, and the dude that might be testifying is actually the individual who knows about TaxStone allegedly, because these are all allegations, being a gun smuggling guns into New York City. Allegedly, we do not know this to be a fact. So if they prove that TaxStone is an actual gun smuggler bringing guns into New York City, then I really don't care. And I don't think that the jury themselves are going to care that Troy Ave is the one who fired off the gun in this situation. Because if he's a gun smuggler, that gun would not only have not been inside of Irving Plaza, but that gun wouldn't even have been inside of the city of New York if not for the gun smuggler.
This is true.
Just so to be clear how Americans think, people get shot at, and there's a lot of old people, teachers and whatnot on this panel, on this jury. The way Americans think is this: it's the gun manufacturer's fault. It's the gun's fault. They don't like putting blame on the actual shooter. And we know that to be a fact because every time there's some kind of mass situation that goes on where we end up losing a lot of people, people are always complaining about how there's not more gun regulations. Tell me where the lie's at.
This is true.
So there's an argument to be made that if you are correct, Shallow, if you are correct, that the second person that they're gonna have being a corroborating witness, because what was I saying last night? What are they corroborating? The second person, if they're a corroborating witness to the crime of gun smuggling, then the issue is gonna be that every single crime that has been committed with that gun is the smuggler's fault. That's what the DA is gonna say. That's what the government is going to say. That's what the prosecuting attorney is going to say. And they're going to actually have a pretty good point to push by saying this. Because remember, the people that they blame even more than the individual that uses the illegal gun is the person that brought the illegal gun into the city or into the state in which that illegal gun is used. And we've seen this be a thing in America. So
let me say something real quick. Let me cut your wisdom, right? TaxStone isn't the one that brought the gun from Florida to New York. Somebody else brought the gun from Florida to New York and gave it to him.
No, hold on. I don't know that to be a fact. Hold on. I don't know that to be a fact.
I know to be a fact. That's what they're talking about.
So hold on, Shallow. We gonna agree that that's what happened?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what like I said, from what I understand is that, you know, it's a pipeline.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't one person that bring it. You know, one person bring it to where it needs to go, another person get it.
Yeah, but if you're a part of that pipeline, then you're a part of the totality of the crime.
100%.
So even if he didn't bring it 100 from Florida, he did, or from where the gun came from, Florida, I believe. Even if he didn't bring it from Florida, if he was a party of any of the interconnecting parts that brought it to New York, then he is actually on the hook for that crime.
Listen to what I'm saying. The guy came from Florida with the guns. I know a lot of guys that come from North Carolina and sell guns. Sold guns back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So if you get caught with the gun, no matter where that gun comes from, it's still your gun possession. I'm from New Jersey, and New Jersey got a very strict gun law. It's worse than New York.
Both of y'all not connected. Hold on, stop. Both of y'all not connected really well. I need for both of y'all to do me a favor. Could y'all both back out and come back?
Yeah, I got you.
Because there's a lot of feedback on this end.
Hold on, I'll mute.
All right.
I think I need to just back out and then come back into the chat personally. There you go. Come back, rat bastards. I'm not even gonna say nothing because I don't want nobody to say he just asked him to back out and come back so then he can try to get his points off. We're not doing that. I have no point, by the way. We're gonna give these gentlemen a chance to come back because I want to be able to hear what they're saying. Demetrius Loudman, you was green team. What happened? Every time I see somebody that's green team and you're not green team no more, I think somebody cloned your account. All right, I got you both. I'm bringing both of y'all back up here if y'all want to dub your camera. Bring you up.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, you still got that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with you. Could I hear you talk? Jersey?
You hear me?
Yeah, I mean, it got wicked, but come on, finish what you're saying.
And like I said, I know to bring guns like that.
Did you go underground? Did you go underground?
I'm back. Yo, you hear me?
Now
yeah, I'm on the train.
Yeah,
I
now
said,
we can hear you now. Now you clear. Your picture's frozen and shit.
All right.
No, we don't care about your picture. We care about your voice. Come on, let's go.
Huh?
Let's go. We can hear you
I
clear,
said,
though.
my people should bring guns from North Carolina. We have to bring the guns from North Carolina and Jersey. And we can quote that gun. No matter where the gun came from, we tell the camera from that gun, that's possession of the gun. And so whatever happened to that gun with that gun, we got to wear that shit. Because we was held accountable. We had possession of it. It was in our possession at the time. Mm-hmm. The gun was in Troy Ave possession at the time while that shooting was going on in Urban Plaza. It wasn't in TaxStone's possession no more.
Okay, I want you to finish what you're saying before I tell you the problem I think in your theory.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead. I'm finished. I'm just saying, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the problem. What happens when you're robbing a bank and some other random person gets hurt by a whole different person that ain't even you and wasn't even part of the plan? That's still your crime. Correct?
A bank robbery and a
hold on. It's still your crime. Okay, so let's do it different. Let's say you're running through the street and you're shooting a weapon and somebody is trying to escape from you and they run in front of a car and then the car hits them and then they die.
That's on you.
That's on the person who was firing the gun, or is it on the person who's driving the car?
That's on the part. It was on the person who was firing the gun.
Okay, boom. So if they deem, I'm not saying that this is something that they're gonna say. Remember, we're just going through the trial. But if they deem that the initial crime happened, and listen, when they deem that the initial crime happened when TaxStone pulled out the weapon and fired the weapon, if they also deem he fired the weapon, that means that everything that happened after that happened is going to be put onto TaxStone. That's why he has to have a good lawyer. Now, what his lawyer might be trying to do is say that the initial crime happened when he got slapped. Yeah. Now, if they can move that to where the initial crime, the assault, that way, that might be able to benefit TaxStone. Like I told you, I'm non-biased, my dude. I don't got no.
I know.
I'm just sad that Benga he's not here no more because I don't like when we lose our brothers, just in general. So
yeah, but I don't like that either. But I also don't like when a man smacking another man when he had nothing to do with the situation. Let your homie man up. Let him handle that.
I agree.
Sometimes you get what my grandfather used to tell me when I was in the streets. He's like, yo, son, you will get what your hands called for.
I'm going to tell you some shit that happened to me real quick. So shout out to Akeem, my homie Akeem. We were like probably teenagers, probably like 19, 20. So I see my homie Akeem and we coming into Concourse Village and there's those ramps on the west side on 158th Street. So I'm standing there and I'm talking to him for 2 seconds. There's some kid that was having some problem with his family and he walks out and he bumps into me and I turn around and we like, yo, what's good? And he starts talking crazy. Before he could even get his words out, Akeem slapped the shit out of this nigga. Bam! He turns around, walks down the block. Me and Hakeem just go back to talking like they ain't nothing happened. So sometimes when you with people and that's your man's, your fight is they fight. So this wasn't just a bodyguard situation. Shallow, your mic is muted if you don't know. This isn't just a bodyguard situation. This is literally a situation where that was his real friend. That was his real man's. You understand?
Yo, that's exactly what I said. Like, yo, it's different when somebody's your man. It's been too many times I've been out and I see some aggression going on, and I know when my boy about to take it, but I got the drop. So I'm gonna take it there first. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get it there first. Like, yo, that security shit is all good, but that was his man, bro. That was his man. He wasn't gonna let nobody talk to his boy like that. And he already know how Troy is. He probably knew where it was gonna go. He knew exactly where it was gonna go, so he just took it there first.
Also, this is something else that we gotta keep in mind. These dudes been, especially especially TaxStone, he's been talking really crazy about Troy online like crazy. And since Tax has the bigger voice, at the time, Tax had the bigger voice. There's a good chance that Banger feels that energy too. Like that, you're not just talking about you're not just talking about my man, you're talking about me. We make money together. We do this together. We team together. So you're not just talking about my homie. You also talking crazy about me, nigga. Niggas, people out here looking at me, man, because this dude over there talking about my man I'm with all the time.
Oh,
That's exactly what I said. Because it turns into not yo Troy, you pussy. It turns into y'all pussy. Who's y'all? I'm part of y'all.
I'm not trying to.
What's the train station? Yeah, I forgot it a long time. Boy. Hey, yo, can I say something though?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I told you, that's what my grandfather told me. Everybody all mad because Banger got murdered. It's a shame to see a brother get murdered. But when you put yourself in that position, you get what your hands called for. Like my grandfather told me. If I get in the middle of some shit that I shouldn't get in the middle of, my man's or not, if I get off, I did that shit. Because most of these little niggas only use us for protection anyway. Even when they hang with when we grown up. I'm 6'7", 330. When I was growing up, I was the biggest nigga. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of niggas that hung me for protection. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna start getting paid for this shit. You did? Like I said, if you do something and the motherfucker didn't do that to you, you get what your hands called for. You smack a grown ass man. Even if TaxStone did do it, he had every right to do it because you put your hands on him.
I wanna lend to what you're saying. So this is something my father told me when I was a kid. One of the few jewels that he actually gave me that was a great jewel. It was a period in time where I was just really, really, really worthless. So he heard about some stuff that had happened in the street. So he come up to me one day and he says, "You can't be out there fighting people. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna fight somebody or you're gonna beat somebody up and they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to take care of themselves and they're gonna come back and they're gonna shoot you. They're gonna stab you. These dudes out here nowadays, and this is right at the in the middle to the end of the 90s. So you can understand what period in time I'm talking
Facts. I know so about definitely.
So he tells me you can't be out here because these dudes, they're gonna shoot you, they're gonna stab you, they're gonna do something to you.
Most definitely.
It's not like before. He's busy trying to explain this to me. So I always move since that period in time is if I feel like I could beat you in a fight, I wanna really have I wanna talk our problem out. If I feel like you have no chance of winning, if I feel like this is not a fair fight, you just talking crazy because you emotional, I want to work this out because I'm not walking up and down the street scared of getting shot. It's okay. Y'all gonna try to jump me, whatever, niggas get jumped. But I'm not walking up and down the street scared of getting shot, scared of getting stabbed. Now, I want to tell y'all about something that happened to some kid the other day. They jumped some kid the other day in the Bronx. They shot him and they stabbed him after they beat him up or before. So it's just bananas out here at this time. You understand what I'm saying? So no, I understand what you're saying and I get what you're saying because Banger decided that he was gonna hit Troy Ave first. TaxStone first. Everything that he got, he called for. That's what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Everything he got what his parents called for.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, but that doesn't change the
Right here.
fact that
Yeah,
this whole
behind
entire
me.
situation didn't even need to happen.
No, I'm
So,
telling you, the address and the map was showing 65, but we're not even 65.
oh, he talking to some other dude. Mute your mic,
Uh,
oh, fuck. So
My bad, my bad.
I'm still gonna say that I feel bad that we lost this man because I want us to keep, especially our soldiers. I want
yeah,
us to stop killing each other, just in general, and that's just my energy. Now, one of the things that could be argued that can be in favor of TaxStone is if he went for his weapon, he wasn't able to get it out, and they started wrestling the weapon from him, and then it went off, and that's how everybody got shot.
I mean, that's what happened.
That's gonna work in TaxStone's favor, in my belief. Even if he wasn't supposed to have the gun in the facility. And the only reason why I believe that that will work in his benefit is because he got hit first. Is that fair?
I mean, yeah.
So that's what you muted, Jersey. So that's what I
It,
think personally.
I just think that I think the whole situation it's unfortunate that
thank you.
that everybody's first recourse is to violence. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like at the end of the day, as corny and as cliche as it sounds, words are words. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
yeah,
somebody touches you, then that's one thing. But, you know, I know what Jack goes through. And Jack's trolling is on a whole nother level because, you know what I mean? They try to dox them. They get personal. They make up wild shit. It's like, you know what I mean? But what's going on with Troy and Tax was just attacking his credibility. So at the end of the day, Troy was just hurt via his ego. Cause this nigga keep telling you, you ain't what you say you are. You ain't what you say you are. It ain't the same type of trolling that Jack did. You know what I mean? Like he was just attacking his credibility, his gangster. Yo, you ain't never sold no packs. You ain't put no work on the block. You know what I mean? You never put no pain in. You know what I'm saying? You're not this, you're not that, you're not this, you're not that. It wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, attacks as far as, him doxing him telling he's gonna slap his daughter. You know what I mean? He wasn't bringing up, he was just coming at him as a man. So Troy's ego, which he has a huge ego, I don't know if you ever watched the interview. I never seen a nigga just so full of himself in my life. It's insane. It's insane. He sit down and he's like, yo, you like this fur coat? Yo, you like my sneakers? Yo, you like my... It's like, yo, bro, relax. Like, we get it. We get it. You jiggy. You fly. We get it. But I think his ego was so hurt that he couldn't even resort to using words. Tax had the bigger voice. Tax has the streets. Tax could drop podcasts right now and everybody's still going to listen. Tax is what Joe Button is. Tax would be at such a high level right now as far as the podcast game if this whole situation didn't happen.
Agreed.
And I think that Troy's jealousy of seeing him ascend while Troy was very stagnant in his career, and then at the same time having this man attack your credibility, which is what you're trying to build yourself as a rapper, that's your foundation. You know what I mean? Troy wasn't out here like J. Cole. Troy was out here duffel bag Troy. Troy was out here talking about he do XYZ, and that's how you making your money. And you got this other man over here just, you know what I mean, chinking your armor, just attacking all your credibility for the way that you're gonna make your money. You know what I'm saying, Jack? Your trolling that you get and the trolling that Troy was getting is not the same. It's not the same.
Well,
This shit is
Troy
so
was
personal.
just
It's
so we
so
can.
deliberate. It ain't the same, man. He was just coming at that. Yo, you're not a gangster, bro. You're not a gangster, bro.
I wanna be clear on something. If you notice, I never equate TaxStone to Satan. I never equate him to the devil because the trolling that I heard was actual trolling. I didn't hear him go past what we deem as actual trolling. I don't get trolled. I have literal Satan following me. So it's a different situation. All right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This shit is a whole different level.
Yeah, that's it. I have Satan following. I have people following me that or doing whatever. I don't even understand why they would think that anybody would want to work with them. Like, you understand? Like, you know how the business works. Nobody's gonna want to work with
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
You
Yo,
understand
bro,
what I'm saying? They're ruining their ability to be able to be on social media. Nobody's gonna work with those guys. So TaxStone was doing actual trolling where he was talking about Troy Ave and actually what he believed what was going on with him. He wasn't talking about Troy Ave's kids, as far as I know.
Exactly.
He wasn't talking about Troy Ave's family. He wasn't doing any of that stuff. He wasn't trying to tell people where Troy Ave lives. He wasn't doing any of that weirdo stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So no, I get it, and I'm actually talking about it on that level. I'm being as fair as possible.
He was killing his ego. That's what Tax was doing, killing his ego and his credibility. And like I said, Troy, you know, that's how he make his money. You know what I'm saying? His persona is supposed to be this, you know, he's not a super gangster, but you know, he meets Tax, whatever the case may be. And you got somebody telling the world, like, yo, that ain't you. And everybody's listening and everybody believes him. It was his ego. He couldn't use his words. You know what I mean? And like I said, like you just said, your point is perfect because somebody the other day called me about J Hood. And they're like, yo, bro, I need you to, you know what I'm saying, line something up for J Hood. You know what I mean? Put him in touch with some people. I was like, yo, bro, I can't. I was like, because I do that, everybody gonna be looking at me crazy. I was like, yo, he did those interviews and he was shitting on D-Block. He's shitting on kids. I was like, yo, everybody love those guys. You know what I'm saying? I come to somebody like, yo, I want you to do something with J Hood. They're gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy. I can't do that. He burned his bridge. And that's the same thing that happened with Troy. He burned his bridge. And Tax was just chipping it away. Nobody likes Troy out. Jack, nobody likes Troy.
I know.
There's a reason. It ain't us. It's him. You know what I mean? Like,
I already know people don't like Troy Ave. I don't have a beef with the dude. I mean, I don't really care. If matter of fact, to be perfectly honest with you, if he wasn't selling a whole bunch of drugs in the hood, I'm happy about that. You get it? So, I don't like the perpetrating of the making of the music of selling drugs in the hood, whether you are or whether you aren't. Don't get this confused. But if you're telling me that he really wasn't destroying our neighborhoods by putting drugs in them, I'm not going to be mad at him. But I also don't think that you should be making money for music talking about that, especially if that is not something that you was a part of.
Facts.
I'm assuming that that's kind of what your point is.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you know, we all been outside before. We all might have put a little something on the street, you know what I mean? It might not be nothing crazy. No dope, you know what I mean? Maybe a little weed. You know what I mean? Maybe you lucked up, you bought a pound for the cheap, whatever the case may be. But that ain't how he talked. You know what I'm saying? My man talked like he was fucking Jay-Z out here losing 92 bricks. You know what I mean? Can we talk about that? You think Jay really lost 92 bricks? I don't think he lost 92 bricks. But, I mean, that's another... That's a little off, but I don't think he lost 92 bricks. But, yeah, Troy be out here talking crazy, man. Nobody believes you, bro. You were selling your CDs out the back of your car. Talk about that. Talk about how you was on some New York masterpiece shit. Talk about that.
That is lit, though. Hold on. Let's stop for a second. If he was really just selling his shit out the back of his car and he came up that way, that's something to brag about. That's something to be happy about.
That's how he came up. That's what I'm saying. Everybody in Brooklyn know Troy. That's how he came up. And that's the thing. He could have wore that because Troy would come to any hood, bro. Any hood. Niggas on the block, no matter who was outside, and he would walk up to, yo, what's good? My name Troy, blah, 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 blah. This is my shit. Yo, y'all should fuck with it. It didn't matter who was outside, Bloods, Crips, whatever. You know what I mean? He would come out and he would post up and he would pump his shit. Bro, wear that jacket. Why are you trying to wear this jacket that you fucking Pablo Escobar You know what I mean? And you got nobody to vouch for you. Like I said, all you have to do is listen to the silence. It's deafening. It's so loud, it's not even funny. Nobody comes out and co-signs Troy Ave. Why is that? Nobody co-signs you at all? Nobody co-signs you, bro. Look at Hovain. Hovain was his manager for how long? He fucking left Hovain. You know what I mean? RIP to Hovain. Like, nobody co-signs you, bro. And he came up with Hovain. He came up with Hovain.
Okay, so before all of this happened, before TaxStone was even shooting at Troy Ave, I'm gonna tell you how I heard about Troy Ave. I was hanging out with, I don't know if TaxStone was already, I shouldn't even use the word shooting, talking shit about him. I don't know if this is before he was talking shit about them, but this is how I found out about Troy Ave. I was hanging out with some of my people, right? This is when Mello was still in the Garden. So I was hanging out with my homie that was the plug for the tickets to the Madison Square Garden, right? He know all of them niggas. He knew Mello. He knew all of them niggas. That's why I keep trying to tell people. I know niggas before I started doing YouTube. Copy? So what happened was we was having a conversation in Brooklyn about Jay-Z because he didn't like Jay-Z. And he was busy saying some of the things that Jay-Z was talking about. Jay-Z was fronting about this, fronting about that, right? He was saying he was doing stuff and he was talking about how Jay-Z shot his brother, whatever the case is. He brings up Troy Ave. I don't know who Troy Ave is at this point. And he talks to me about, I don't know how long he was sitting. We was in some street in Brooklyn, over there near where the A turns and starts going to Far Rock. Wherever that, near that White Castle. So we're having a conversation about Troy Ave, and he says that Troy Ave, and just randomly for no fucking reason, he brings up Troy Ave. I think that's when I think Mello. I don't know if this was before or after the Mello trade. I think it's before the Mello trade. So he brings up Troy Ave, and one of the things in which he actually also says is that he's one of these rappers that's out here and he's not really in the street doing all of this stuff, but he talk about selling drugs and he, you know what I'm saying? And the dude that I'm telling you about, like he's connected, right? So I've been heard that people just did not like Troy Ave. So when you're saying that people did not like Broadway Junction, yeah, over there. So when you're saying that people don't like Troy Ave, yes, I know of people personally that don't like him. And that's what I'm saying. You can't let your comic section dictate who you're going to go after. You can go troll a nigga a little bit, but there's a point where it's just too much. Like there's literally people that I don't like, and I try not to talk about them too often because one of the things, and I'm not trying to bring the Bible into this, but one of the things the Bible says is that we should try to have all of the words that we say be good words. Like we're not supposed to, we should try our hardest not to talk negatively about people. So if it's a person that I don't like, you just see me not cover him. Is that fair?
No, I get it.
So I get it. There's a lot of people that don't like Troy Ave. And that's what I'm saying is why TaxStone felt so comfortable going at him over and over and over again. When in reality, he just needed to slap him up here and there and then let the nigga eat. Because don't nobody like him, right?
Nobody like him.
So he didn't need to be going so hard. It was not necessary.
I mean, you know what it is? I just think that, you know, I can't speak for Tax. I just feel like he might have taken personally how Troy Ave really is, you know, perpetrating a fraud. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, it was dudes out here who was really putting in work and putting in pain and they rapping or whatever. And, you know, they not really getting on. Troy wasn't really getting on either. But, you know, it kind of takes away from what your man is doing if you got somebody else in the same lane, but he ain't even living that life at home. Because, I, like I said, I just felt like the way that Tax was coming at Troy was solely on his credibility in the street. You know, he was just attacking his ego.
I didn't hear anything else other than that, so I'm gonna agree with you.
I just felt like he was attacking his ego. You know, and the way that men are, the way we're built, and the way we're set up, there's only but so much you can take with somebody coming at your ego. You know, especially if you're a rapper, because that is part of your persona. You know what I mean? That's part of your lore. your lore is what you did in the street if you're gonna be a street rapper. So when you got somebody who everybody listens to, everybody believes is the real voice of the street, and he's saying, nah, he ain't it, then people gonna listen to him. Because Tax was putting people on. When Tax was co-sign you, you know what I mean, tweet your music, like, nah, he's certified. People will fuck with him. Because they know Tax is saying it, he must be valid. Especially if he was on some street shit. You know what I mean? Tax was the first one to put out Casanova, really. That was his man, but he co-signed Cass. And Cass was valid. Everybody know Cass in the street. Cass been valid. So Troy is the complete opposite of that. But he's still trying to, perpetrate a fraud, like he's living this crazy life and he's this and he's that. And Tax is sitting back watching like, nah, bro, that ain't you. And he don't like him to begin with. That was all it took, man. That was all it really took. That really was all it took. I just think it was all ego driven. You know what I mean? On both sides. I'm not going to put it all on Troy.
Fair enough.
On both sides, it's ego driven. And, you know what I mean? I don't know how many people's in the room right now because I'm not really looking.
We got 66. We went up to 80 for a minute.
As men, we all got to learn that we can't let our ego dictate our actions because that shit is going to get you caught up in something every single time. Whether it's women, whether it's money, whether it's arguing with people, whatever the case may be, sometimes you got to really take a step back and realize, like, yo, you know what? This is my ego talking, and maybe I should listen a little clearer. You know what I mean? Not just hear somebody to be able to respond, but listen to what they're saying, and then, have a legit, dialogue with somebody as opposed to just letting your ego just push you over the edge. Because that shit'll get you killed. That shit'll get you jammed up. That shit'll get you locked up. And, I got a lot of homies that's locked up. And they'll tell you, like, yo, I ain't even have to do all of that.
You ain't never lie. Yo, check this out. So, just so we could be clear, he's speaking real shit right here. What do I tell y'all all the time? I say, yo, Satan doesn't care if he wins the fight or not. He just wants you to fight. So sometimes you got to remove yourself from the situation because the actual act of fighting is helping Satan win. That's how a lot of... What happened? That's why I hear this feedback. You got to turn me down on the damn speaker, man.
Nah, I actually had you on my headphones, but these shit are dead now. But I'm gonna skate up out of here, Jack.
Now I can hear you. Before I couldn't hear you at all.
Oh, it probably was my AirPods.
Yeah, this shit was mad staticky. Now we can hear you. But I'm just piggybacking off of what you said, though. Sometimes you got to remove yourself from a situation because Satan just wants us to fight. He don't care who wins.
Yeah, that's all facts. Like I say, yo, all the guys in here, man, just, take your time before you just, you make any decision. Just give it a second. Like, seriously, any decision you make, just give it a second. Because it's so easy to get in trouble and it's so hard to get out. I remember my mother used to say that to me all the time. Trouble's the easiest thing to get into, but it's hard to get out of it. Just take your time. You know what I mean? Everybody gets a turn. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't getting no money right now, you see somebody shining, and you got a little envy in you, just remember, everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn. It ain't your turn yet. You can't force your turn, but you're going to get one.
That's a fact. God gonna spin the block. Yo, hit me on Instagram so I can make sure I can find your jump off because we haven't chatted in a while, so I can find your jump off. So just hit me on Instagram real quick when you get off.
All right, I got you. I'm about to skate up out of here right now, though.
Definitely appreciate you, my brother. Salute.
All right, I'm going to tap back in.
That's what it is. Yeah, I enjoyed that. We had some good conversation. I'm glad that the brothers pulled up this morning. Definitely appreciate that. I be wanting people to pull up more often, but I don't want the BS. I'm not here for the arguing. And like I was telling y'all before, them people that's talking crazy about me, don't nobody want to work with these guys. Why in the hell would you want to work with some people or be cool with some people when you see what they doing to another person that don't deserve it? You understand what I'm saying? These guys is not going to be able to get nobody of any consequence to ever work with them. And I'm not going nowhere. I could only ascend. Shout out to Gotti. He said, we in here. Salute my brother. You understand? I don't got to worry about that shit. I promise you. I promise you. I don't got to worry about that shit. Real really do recognize real, homie. Real recognize real and skill recognize skill. Talent recognize talent. Never allow for that shit to be removed from yourself. Sorry about this. Hold on, give me 1 second. So yeah, so we had the brother up in here. We have both of the brothers up in here talking. That was definitely a blessing. I love when we can have people come up here and we can have real conversations and it's not about the BS. And as y'all see, I let people talk. I'm not trying to control what anybody says. I don't care about a narrative. None of that stuff is important to me. I don't care at all about a narrative. None of that stuff is important to me. I don't care about a narrative. Copy? I got my own mind. And I don't really, and I'm fine with anybody else thinking whatever they think. I'm fine with it. Anybody else got any words? Put it in the comment section. Anything that y'all think about what's going on. Shout out to Gotti. We got Gotti up in here. We still got at least another 20, 30 minutes before I got to go eat lunch of some kind. If you are enjoying any part of the show, you can always pull up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, or the PayPal. Or you could just become part of the Green Team. Federal prosecutors filed midnight motion to keep R. Kelly in prison for the rest of his life. All right, let's get back to this. So I want to say something and I want to be clear. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Coming next week, the trial is scheduled to start. The reason why the trial has not started yet is because they haven't picked a jury. That's it. The reason why the trial hasn't started yet is because they haven't picked a jury. That's it. They're going to be picking a jury. Hopefully, the judge believes by the next week sometime. When that happens, court starts. We pull up the court. We do our business. You already know what it is. Now, we spoke about a lot of things today, just so we could be clear. We spoke about the possibility that Troy Ave was actually the instigator of the situation. We spoke about the possibility that TaxStone was the instigator of the situation. We spoke about the possibility that while fighting for the gun went off, and thus that's how the individuals that got shot. We talk about all of those possibilities. We do not know what happened. We're going to have to wait for court. I would have loved to have Troy Ave up on the platform, but me, even if he agreed, right, I don't want there to be a situation like what happened on Matt Hoffa's podcast, because we don't want that energy. It's not fair. You understand what I'm saying? Unless we have somebody to speak for TaxStone, it's not fair. It's just not fair. You understand? If I could have somebody that could speak for TaxStone, I would love to then have a conversation with both sides, not at the same time, obviously, separately. I would love to. But I'm not going to have my platform used for one person to bash another person, and that person doesn't have the ability to respond. Now, if they could respond on a whole different platform, I get it. But if we can get, I would love to, just so we can be clear, and with an open mind, because that's the only way I'm going to deal with it, I would love to have TaxStone's people and Troy Ave or Troy Ave's people come speak with us. But I don't want to agree to having Troy Ave and his people come speak if there is no way for me able to get TaxStone and his people up here. Now, with that being said, I have an open invitation for Trife Gangster, Banger's brother. Trife also was trying to run for Brooklyn president, Brooklyn Borough president. He was running for that last election. I have an open invitation for him. He's outside of the two parties. Obviously, he's going to be speaking against one side or the other. He lost his brother. I'm not ever going to tell a grieving family member that will want to come up here and speak that they can't. I'm just not going to do that. That's insanity. So there's an open invitation to Trife. I would love to have him come up. And if not for anything else, to give us, people that don't know Banger, probably a better understanding of who that man was, so his legacy, his memory could continue to live on. Now, with that being said, there are angles, and this is why when I was asked last night, I didn't really want to say but so much, but there are angles that I know I would use if I was TaxStone's lawyer with the limited information that I currently have. Maybe if I knew more, I would not see these as viable resources or viable arguments in court if I knew more. But depending on what I do know, there is angles that I do see that there is a possibility for there to be a good defense. I'm not saying a winning defense. I'm saying a good defense for TaxStone. And one of those possibilities are definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, he was hit first, then he was rushed, and then the gun went off. And then there's an argument that could be made that the gun wouldn't have been able to go off if he never brought it into the building. And there's another argument that could be made for the other side that why would he come to an event that he knows somebody, if he was in fear for his life, why would he come to an event that he knows that a person that wants to attack him would be at because he was literally on the card to perform? And I'm going to mention something else that people might not put into all of this, but this is something else that the prosecution could possibly argue, and that's this. Pay attention. Casanova invited TaxStone, right? Casanova's people were the ones that were in the Barclays when they rushed Treyway. I don't know if anybody's getting my drift. I don't know if anybody is getting my drift. Shallow House says, don't forget, Troy had a... Did you DM me yet, you rat bastard? He said, don't forget, Troy had a car full of guns, not just the one he allegedly got off tax. This is a fact. I don't know if it was a car full, but yes, he had guns, at least one gun in the car. This is a fact. That he couldn't get into the arena. This is a fact. They found 3. Shallow House saying that they found 3. I'm going to give you that. They found 3 guns, allegedly, in the car with... Hold on. We could just go look it up real quick. I am in no way biased over here. And I do kind of feel a way when people try to put me in a situation where I have to be biased. So a lot of times y'all see me get mad at people, it's because they're trying to force, well, I believe they're trying to force me to be biased. All right. You said there was 3 guns. Let's go look. Let's see if we could find something around here saying how many guns there was and or wasn't. Casanova 2 times. Wife calls out fake friends. Casanova, Brooklyn rapper Casanova 2 times. Currently facing a long list of federal charges. Casanova's wife, model Swaggy Jazzy, recently took to Instagram to bash fake friends who have ghosted the couple. Okay, this was over some other stuff that wasn't what we was initially looking for. Gun found in car carrying Troy Ave, matching bullets from show shooting. Okay, so they found the Troy Ave went out with the gun. Were there more guns? Following the shooting, real name Roland Collins was driven to the emergency room at NYU. NYU is one of the best hospitals. Also, you could literally go there and get free dental work. Long Gone Hospital, where New York Police Department officers kept the car from leaving. After obtaining a warrant, investigators uncovered a secret compartment in the vehicle which held 3 handguns. You're right, 3, including the one that killed McFadder. So they found him with 2 guns, by the way. The 3rd gun was the gun that he got from off of tax. So they found him with 2 guns. The 3rd gun is the gun he got off of tax. Detectives plan to perform DNA tests on the guns to determine who had handled them. The latest development in the case comes after Collins pled not guilty to attempted murder and criminal possession of firearm at a hearing Monday in Manhattan criminal court. His charges, however, could be upgraded if tests determine his gun is responsible for McFadden's death. 2 members of the hip-hop community have already voiced their support for Troy Ave. Meek Mill and longtime proponent 50 Cent on Instagram both posted pictures of the MC showing up to court in a wheelchair with his leg in a cast. Self-defense, that's more like it now. 50 Cent wrote, "Hold your head, Troy. See how the story changes." The shooting took place at T.I.'s New York concert May 25th and left 4 injured, including Troy Ave. McFadden was the only fatality. The incident reportedly occurred after a set from rapper Mano, with whom Troy Ave had reportedly been beefing. Sheesh. Though according to DNA info, other sources said that the fight started when Troy Ave saw a music writer who'd been critical of him. The gunshot occurred. Troy Ave saw a Troy Ave. This lends to what Shallow Hal was just saying. Troy Ave saw TaxStone, who'd been critical of him. The gunshot occurred in the green room above the stage. A surveillance video from the incident showed Troy Ave emerging backstage, opening fire. Initial reports claim that Troy Ave shot both himself and McFadden, but one of the rapper's lawyers denied the allegation, saying that the video released by the NYPD did not show what happened before or after the incident. The scientific evidence would show he didn't shoot himself. He added, despite not having a criminal record, the judge who oversaw Monday's hearing denied Troy Ave's request of a $50,000 bond, a step opting to keep him in custody without bail until his trial ends. So yeah, obviously we know Troy Ave was eventually let out, given bond. I don't know what his bond was, but we know he was eventually bonded out. The 3 guns was found stashed away. Shallow House says the 3 guns was found stashed away, including the one that killed. So he showed up with 2 guns. I'm assuming one of them was his and the other ones was Banger. And then the 3rd gun was the gun that he got off of TaxStone. Also, just so we can be clear, maybe they don't find all 3 guns if they're not looking for the TaxStone gun. So he probably shouldn't even have stashed that gun with the other guns. Maybe if you stash that gun somewhere else and then they find that gun fakely stashed, maybe they don't look for your real stash. Just saying. Just saying. Yo, Hal, I need you to hit me on Instagram so I can make sure that I can find you. So I could find your freaking jump off. I don't know where you hit me at, if it's on BBN side or if it's on the Jack Frost side. You hit me on the BBN side or the Jack Frost side, let me know. So there's more than one party that is actually agreeing, or they're actually alluding to Troy Ave being an instigator of the situation. I'm not saying he was instigating. I don't know. There is video evidence, and I'm going to tell you, there's people that saw the video evidence, and the people that saw the video evidence, some of them saying the opposite of that. So we're going to have to see. So we're going to have to see exactly how that works out. There's really no telling. When Eminem, I just want to just say this real quick. So Eminem dissed Michael Jackson in 2005, and then Michael Jackson went and bought his whole catalog. So every single time Eminem performed, he got paid. Also, he can make it so you can't perform that song because he owns the song. I'm sorry that I've just changed the subject that quick, but you do understand that, right? If Michael Jackson bought his whole catalog, he owns his catalog, so he could say, "I don't want you performing that song no more." That's savage. Who the hell is that? Anyway, not my business. Anything y'all guys want to talk about? We got a couple of more minutes. Is there anything? Put it down in the chat. Is there anything y'all guys want to talk about real quick? Anything y'all want to go over? Anything that you want to ask me? Put it in the chat. Oh, I meant to dub that. Anything y'all want to talk about? Anything y'all want to ask me? Put it in the chat. I want to thank our guests. Also, we just recently did an interview with Lakim Shabazz. That interview is going to be going up soon. Don't worry about it. I just need to add some finishing touches to the editing. That video is going to be going up soon. Lakim Shabazz. Shout out to Lakim Shabazz being the guest over here. Shout out to the gentleman today being a guest. I'm probably gonna re-upload that whole entire conversation that we just had. We're gonna make sure that we do that. Anything that y'all guys want to talk about, put it in the chat. And then I'm about to let y'all go because it's about time for lunch, and I gotta actually get to some work today. It's raining outside pretty bad. Oh, this is something that I wanted to add. Be careful about going outside and getting soaked. Remember, they had that train situation happen. They burned all of those chemicals. Those chemicals went up into the clouds. So those chemicals are going to be getting rained down back to the earth. So be careful about being out in the rain too much, especially if you are east, because that's the way our forecast goes. If you are east of Ohio, okay? So we should be worried in New Jersey. We should be worried in New York. We should be worried in Connecticut. We should be worried in Massachusetts. Copy? All of these areas, Virginia, all of these areas that's east of Ohio, we should be concerned. There's nothing we can do about it. But be cautious and careful about being outside in the rain uncovered. Now, this is something else I was thinking about. Should we also be worried about our air now? So be out there, be worried, be cautious, be careful. Also, I'm going to tell you about a thing that I heard. I don't know how true this is, but allegedly those masks you see everybody wearing, those don't do anything to prevent you from catching the contagion. That doesn't do anything preventing you from catching C-19. Copy? It does zero things to prevent you from catching C-19. The masks allegedly don't do nothing. Allegedly don't do nothing. Okay? So once again, why do they got us doing all of this weirdo shit? Why? Allegedly, the masks don't do nothing. Also, the people who made the freaking jabs said they don't do nothing. So, to all of those people that was busy mad at me, talking crap to me, like I didn't know what I was talking about, the scientists who made the jabs say that they do not do what the governments are saying that they do. They don't serve those purposes. So after they said this, explain to me why our president is still pushing people to get the jab. You know who was against the jab? Who was against the jab? Who was the president that we had that was against the jab? We had a president that was against the jab. Do y'all remember? We had a president that was against masks. Do y'all remember? We had a president who didn't want to shut down America. Do y'all remember? Please stop believing people because they got a whole lot of people saying the same thing. Remember, idiots follow idiots. Now, I'm not calling anybody an idiot, but I'm just saying, remember, some people just follow. They don't know no other way. You understand? They only know how to follow. I got to get ready to walk out in this rain too. So I'm not too happy about that. Some people don't know how to do anything else other than follow. So please stop listening to other people all the time, because the majority of the time you think the person is a leader and they a follower. They just yelling louder than the person who's the actual leader. Copy? So allegedly, because this is what the actual scientists said when they were getting spoken to over there in Europe about the jab. And they literally said that it does not do what the governments are saying that they do. That it doesn't prevent, It doesn't help you get over the shit quicker. It does none of those things. This is what the people who actually made it said. You could go look it up online. Don't take my word for it. And it's also come out that those masks don't do shit. Now I want to say something. Pay attention. You know what our biggest freaking membrane is? You know what our largest organ on our... Anybody know what the largest organ on our body is? Just put this in the chat if you know. I'll give it a second. Anybody know what the largest organ on our body is? I'm about to tell you the same exact argument that I had initially. Shout out to Shallow Hal. The skin! Do anybody remember when they first started telling us to wear masks and I said that don't make sense? Because we literally breathe through our skin. This organ, your skin is an organ. Your skin absorbs shit. That's why if you touch something, you can get sick. A person doesn't have to need to sneeze in your face. They can sneeze on your arm. They can sneeze on your back, on your chest. They can sneeze on any exposed part of your body and give you a cold. Copy? This is all stuff that I said when this shit first started. And people was arguing with me and telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. So do what you think is best for you. If you want to wear the mask, I don't really care. If you want to go get the jab, go get the jab. I don't really care. Yeah, I don't really care. I'm just being honest with you. If you want to get the jab, go get the jab. I don't care. That's between you, the physician, and your family. If you want to wear the mask, wear the mask. What the hell do I care? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you don't like how other people smell. But I do want to tell you something about wearing that mask real quick. You're literally breathing in your waste. Because you want to know what? We breathe in oxygen and we breathe out what? And the thing that we breathe out is what? It's waste from our body. So literally, when you're wearing that mask super tight on your face like this all day, you're breathing in and breathing in. How long do it take? Do you think you're not breathing really in any oxygen no more? You're breathing in like 2%, 10%, maybe 15% oxygen of what you would normally breathe in when you breathe. Now ask yourself why all of these people are having heart and lung problems. So I want you to do what's best for you. Don't try to push whatever you're doing on other people. All right? Whatever you think is best for you, do it. If you think getting a jab is best for you, I'm with you. Go do it. If you think wearing a mask is the best thing for you, I'm with you. Go do it. I'm not doing any of these things. But if you think that they're the best thing for you, I think that you should do it. Once again, I'm a person that I'm not for abortion, but if you want to go get an abortion, go do it. You want to know why? Because I believe that we all have free choice. That's our biggest gift that the Most High gave us, the ability to have free choice. Anybody trying to take your free choice away from you, especially when you're an adult, and they're just actively trying to prevent you from having your own free choice, they're getting between you and the Most High. See, because God doesn't force you. Let's read the word before we get out of here. God doesn't force you to do anything. He gives you an option. He just opens up opportunity. Copy? If you want to do things, even if I don't agree with them, I'm not going to tell you to not do them. I just don't want you to do anything that's going to hurt me or the ones I love. But if you make a decision that's on you, that you believe is for the betterment of you, that's a decision that you're making between you and the Most High. if there's people out there that are trying to prevent you from making decisions, that's not God. That's 100% Satan. I keep telling this dude to hit my Instagram. He ain't did it yet. So, all right. Anyway, let's read the word of the day. Let's see what the Most High gave us today. Galatians verse 5. He gave us line 16, which says, "So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh." So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. This is the line that they gave us today. So today, walk by the Spirit. Don't look to gratify the desires of your flesh. I'm going to see how long this is real quick before I decide whether we're going to read it. It's 25 lines. That's not long. First part is about freedom in Christ. It says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm." Hold on, I'm going to stop in a second. What was I just talking about? That the Most High gives us choice. Copy, I see you. Salute. That the Most High gives us choice. And don't allow for somebody to take your choice away. Because that's what our freedom is. The ability to make mistakes. That's our freedom. If you're a whole grown adult and somebody is trying to force you to do something, that's not the Most High speaking. Copy? That's not the Most High. The Most High wants us to do what is right because we want to do what is right. So this is wild. Once again, whatever we're talking about is what they send us. I don't have no control over what they send me. Copy? They just send me whatever they're going to send me. I have no control over this. The fact that the topics that we talk about almost every single day, the discussions that we're having almost every single day, somehow get sent to my phone every single dang day. I don't know how I don't know how I feel about that. I would like to know how you guys feel about that. Put it in the comment section as we read this. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by the yoke of slavery. Mark my words, I, Paul, tell you that if you let yourself be circumcised, Christ will be of no value to you at all. Again, I declare, I'm going to say that over. Mark my words, I, Paul, tell you that if you let yourself be circumcised, Christ will be of no value to you at all. Again, I declare to every man who lets himself be circumcised that he is obligated to obey the whole law. You who are trying to be justified by the law have been alienated by Christ. You have fallen away from grace, for through Spirit we eagerly await by faith the righteousness for which we hope. For in Christ Jesus neither circumcision nor uncircumcision has any value. The only thing that counts is faith expressing itself through love. You are running a good race. Who cut in on you to keep you from obeying the truth? I want to stop 1 second. You are running a good race. Who cut in on you to prevent you from obeying the truth? You are running a good race. Who cut in on you to keep you from obeying the truth? That kind of persuasion does not come from the one who calls you. A little yeast works through the whole batch of dough. I am confident in the Lord that you will take no other view. The one who is throwing you into confusion, whoever that might be, will have to pay the penalty. Satan is the author of confusion. He's going to send people to confuse you. Those people are going to pay the penalty. Brothers and sisters, If I am still preaching circumcision, why am I still being persecuted? In that case, the offense of the cross has been abolished. As to those agitators, I wish they go the whole way and emasculate themselves. Being emasculated is bad. So what is the feminist movement? Being emasculated is bad. So what is the feminist movement? The next part is life by the Spirit. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge in the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love, for the entire law is fulfilled in keeping one command: love your neighbor as yourself. If you bite and devour each other, watch out, or you will be destroyed by each other. Stop giving people that energy, that negative energy. Stop matching it. Once again, Satan doesn't care who wins. He just wants you doing what isn't the Lord's work. The Lord wants us to speak power into each other. The Lord wants us to love one another. The Lord wants us to be each other's keeper. So whenever you are dealing in conversations with people where they're doing hate, that is the opposite of God. So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Spirit. How often are we in here having a conversation and people just want to say the opposite of whatever I'm saying? For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit, it is what's contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with each other so that you are not to do whatever you want. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are under the law. Basically, earlier, they was talking about circumcision and uncircumcision. It's not about whether you're circumcised or not. It's not whether you look like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's whether you are actually doing what you're supposed to be doing. Once again, it's not if you look like the part. It's if you're actually attempting to be the part. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality. I just want to say something real quick. There's a reason why women cheat more than men. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry. Who y'all worshiping? That ain't the Lord. That's idolatry. And witchcraft. Hatred. Why do you think Satan wants to get you to hate your brother? This is why Satan sends people to speak negativity into your life. Once again, Satan doesn't care who wins between us human beings. He just wants good people with good hearts to drift away from God. That's it. So he doesn't care who wins. When that evil person comes around you and they're trying to get you to get into that fight with them, they're trying to get you to get into that, to resonate their energy. That's because they're trying to move you away from God's vibration. Be cautious of that. Be careful of that and understand what's happening. They're going to say they're not evil, but they are doing evil. So therefore, they are evil. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery. I just want to say this real quick. My OnlyFans. Acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft. Get away from that whole Libra, Leo, Sagittarius. Get away from all of that, all right? Hatred, discord, arguing just for the sake of arguing. Stop thinking that people arguing for the sake of arguing are not doing the devil's work. They are. Discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissension, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. I warn you, as I did before, that those that live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. If there's anybody that's trying to get you to break any of these things, that's Satan. Satan have sent them into your life. So you know how y'all females got those friends that say, oh, he's not treating you right. You need to find another man. That's Satan talking through them. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. One of the main things that we're supposed to be towards our women are gentle. Us as men, we're supposed to be gentle towards our women. We're supposed to handle them caringly, with gentleness, just so we can be clear. Those who belong to Christ Jesus has crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. Since we live in the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. Let us not be conceited, provoking, and envying one another. So just so we could be clear. Just so we could be clear. Never give up. Instead of giving up, what we're to do is we're supposed to increase the love, increase the joy, increase the peace, increase the forbearance, increase the kindness, increase the goodness, increase the faithfulness, increase the gentleness, and increase our self-control. By doing these things, we're going to move closer to the Most High. Never give up, never give in. Because what Satan wants you to do is, Satan just wants you to fight with his little demons, with his little minions. That's all Satan wants you to do. Like me, I have this network. When I pass away, it's still going to be mine. I'm going to be on the internet till the internet ain't no more. Shout out to the Most High. I'm not going nowhere. Copy? When I'm not here no more, y'all going to still be able to come back and see these. Galatians verse 5. And the line that they sent us was, as you can see, verse of the day, Galatians verse 5, line 16. So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. Let's go out there and let's show this type of energy to the world. Let's resonate the Most High's energy. Understand, some people are just evil. Some people are just hateful. Some people are just trying to make good people do bad things. Stop thinking that the good person is wrong. Because when every time you are confused about that type of situation, that means that the Most High isn't in you enough. Because the more the Most High is in you, the more you'll be able to discern who's evil and who's good, as far as whenever you see a conversation. So that's why I say, if I see two people yelling and screaming, I'm not going to necessarily just immediately assume that the loud person is wrong, because they might be getting antagonized. They might be fighting that demon off of them. Because what happens is, when you're actually a good person and you start feeling anxiety, especially when you're dealing with somebody and you're feeling anxiety when you come around them, that's the Most High letting you know that you're not supposed to be with those people. You're not supposed to be in this area. You're supposed to avoid them. So whenever I have a situation personally where I feel that way about a person, I avoid them. Everybody ain't here to be saved, homie. Copy? Remember, the man that we know as Jesus Christ wasn't sent here to save everyone. He was sent here to save the lost sheep. So there's people that came out of the same womb you came out of. They're not to be saved. The person that owns that womb, they're not necessarily to be saved. The person who seeded that womb, they're not necessarily to be saved. But you still might be one of those sheep to be saved. So keep that in mind. Jesus Christ wasn't sent here for everyone, although he does love everyone. Because we don't hate the person, we hate the sin. Now, that's way deeper, but I really can't explain but so much, because these are the conversations you can only, I can't take this conversation but so much further unless I'm actually in a conversation with somebody who I would need people up here. A lot of us learn the Bible the wrong way. Because a lot of these people that are ministering are not people to be saved. Copy. A lot of these people who are ministering are people that Satan set up to try to get more people to get away from the Most High. You ever ask yourself why, if you go into black communities, you see a crap load of liquor stores? You know what else you see a crap load of? Churches. Let that resonate with you for a moment. When do they allow for a lot of anything good to be in our community? So what will happen is you'll have a good church that's speaking the right shit, but what they're going to do is make sure that there's other churches in that neighborhood that they're talking crazy. Because we have to make sure that this specific church doesn't reach as many people as it should. So we need to cause confusion. Shout out to DJ the Science Kid. So keep that in mind. Just because somebody is saying something about the Most High, saying something about the Bible, that doesn't mean that they're telling you the right thing. In our communities, there's a crap load of churches, there's a crap load of liquor stores. Start looking at it as what it is. They allow everything in our communities that's going to corrupt us. The stuff that's going to actually help our communities, they try to keep them things out of our communities. Shout out to all of our guests we had today. And shout out to the guests that we had, Shallow Hal, for explicitly pointing out. Also, Hal, yo, next time you go into something, hit me up. I want to pull up. Just so we could be clear. Let me text it to him. He might not be in here. So just so we could be clear, what up, Calvin Shacklefoot? Understand that Satan isn't ever going to try to go against Satan. So when you see a platform that's being attacked, especially when they're being attacked in just a disgusting manner, who do you think is making this attack happen? When you see some people moving the exact opposite of what God says, why do you think that's happening? Explain that to yourself. We're about to get out of here. If anybody does want to support the platform, if anybody does want to support the platform in any manner, shape, or form, we have a store down there. You could pull up to our BBN store. You could pull up to the Cash App. You could pull up to the Super Chat. Or you could just join the Green Team. I would love to have like 200 Green Team members. Let's work on that. So if you're just a person that you just like, I don't know, maybe $5 a month, maybe $10 a month, you could just join the Green Team. That we can really use more people being subscribed to this platform. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. Everybody just go. Have a beautiful day. Do all of the things. Worship the Most High. And before your kids walk out the door every day, remember Psalms 23. Every day before your kids walk out that door. For everybody that don't know what Psalms 23 is, I'll go over Psalms 23 real quick. Make sure that your kids got armor on before they go out into this world. Make sure that you put the armor on your kids. Make sure you put the armor on your wife. Make sure you put your armor on your cousin, whoever. I mean, your wife, your kids, your husband, whoever. Put the armor on them. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I should dwell in the house of the Lord forever. It's just that quick. Make sure that your kids leave the house every single day with some protection on them. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification game. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one.